What's up, beautiful jellyfish? It's Tracy. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch my video. Today I'm going to be talking to you guys about goldfishing, and I don't know if this is like a universal term, like everyone uses it, or it's just like a certain group of people that I know who use it. I'm not really sure, but basically when I say goldfish, I'm not talking about the snack. I'm also not talking about like goldfish who like swim around in your fishbowl. I'm talking about this thing where basically what you do is you draw your 7 cards. I think this is 7, or maybe it's 6. Math. Okay, no, it's 7. Okay, cool. You draw your 7 cards, right? And you look at your hand, and you say, do I keep this hand? If you don't keep it, you mull, you pitch it back, you draw 6 cards. If you need to, repeat that process, whatever. And then you do the scry rule. And then you play Magic by yourself. You put down the lands as if you were playing a real game of Magic. Goldfishing is playing Magic by yourself, basically. And this is helpful for so many different reasons. Number one, it's really helpful so that you can see what types of hands you are going to keep. Now, mulliganing is a very difficult thing to do, and it's not something that I know, like, a lot of people are very hesitant to mulligan because they'll think like, oh wow, if I mulligan, like, it's gonna be worse. I will honestly tell you, a hand of 5, in most cases, that's good, is better than a hand of 7 that's not so good. So like when I was playing Bloom Titan, this was like at a point for me where mulligans were very hard, and they're still pretty hard for me. Like it's okay, like if you mulligan and you have like no lands, you are most likely going to mull that hand. Like that's pretty easy. But like if you draw cards and you're like hesitant, it can be like very difficult. So like the thing about goldfishing, that what it does is it gets you to constantly like draw at hands, and you get to see what your sample hands look like. So what that does is you get to see how good your mana base is. For example, if you are like have too many lands and you are constantly, and I'm not saying you goldfish it like you draw 7 cards once and you have to goldfish like a lot to see these sort of things, especially if you just build a deck or you're playtesting it and you're not sure if certain cards are going to work. Like if you're constantly drawing like so much mana, you're like, okay, maybe I need to consider cutting 1 or 2. If you're like, I'm not drawing any specific colored mana, add those colors in. And like I said, it's all about repetition with goldfishing. You need to do it a lot so that you can see these different things. If you goldfish once, you cannot have a good analysis at all. Like you can't decide something like, oh, this card's not going to work in here. If you goldfish the deck once, that doesn't make any sense. What this also does is it helps you with CMC. If you have a very high or very low CMC, if you're constantly dumping your hand, and again, I mean like consistently, you may be like, maybe I need to add a couple of things in there that are going to be higher mana cost. Vice versa, if you have a lot of things that are high mana and you're not doing anything till like at least turn 5, yeah, you probably want to fix that. If you have a problem where maybe you have not enough creatures, you're constantly dying. If you have a problem where you are taking way too much damage, like you have, I mean, I don't really know if there's a thing as too many fetches or shocks, but like if you have a bunch of cards that are doing you damage and you know that it's just not been helpful or like whatever, you can fix all of that stuff in the early stages before you go to competitive events. And that's the whole thing with this, about why one of the reasons why this is so great is that you goldfish and you get to fix things before you play, so you get a better feel for basically the deck and how it's going to play at competitive events. So, yeah, it's definitely a really, really important thing. And it's also something that it's very easy to do. You don't have to do it with anyone, which is great. Like, you can just do it by yourself. So, like, if you're waiting for, some people to get together for Magic, just goldfish. Just, like, play the deck out and see how it works. Because, again, you'll see a lot of stuff that you want to fix in the deck that you can fix before you go off to, like, play it in a big tournament or something like that. And something, too, that I'll say about goldfishing is, and I felt like, and the reason I actually wanted to do this video is because something that I noticed is a lot of times, and I've talked about this in a couple of videos, that people will say, oh, this magic card is really good, you should run it. And this is especially, like, if you're basing a deck off of, like, someone else, like, other people's deck lists that are reputable, that are good, you may find that not all of those cards are gonna work. Like, there's some people, like, there's cards out there that all of us don't like that are really popular. Like, there's some cards that you're just like, I'm just not a huge fan of this card, or this card's not working. And my whole thing on it is, if you haven't played the deck, you really cannot have a good response on this. For example, so I'm playing elves at GP Pittsburgh, which I'll actually talk about at the end of this video. And one of the things that I noticed in the deck, and I'm gonna do a whole deck tag talking about this actually, but like a whole deck tag on the entire thing. But one of the things that I noticed in the deck is having 3 Nykthos is too much. Nykthos is an amazing magic card. It is great. However, I had 3 in the deck, and I found myself constantly them being dead cards. So what I did is I took one of those out and I replaced it with the basic land. Now, some people would be like, well, the deck calls for 3 Nykthos, and I would be like, okay, that's great. But I found that 3 Nykthos consistently is not good. So don't be afraid once you goldfish to take cards out and to trade cards around and to trade numbers around. And like I said, when I did a whole video on experimentation and homebrews, I talked about that and just how like people are scared to like make decisions when they shouldn't be. If something is not working for you, I don't care if everyone says that it's so great. Find something that does work for you. Again, there's some defined lines, I think, in the game where, like, there's cards that I think people, if you build this type of deck, you're gonna want to run. But there's room for leeway. And if something like that is not working, change it up. And like I said, you're gonna find that a lot in goldfishing and a lot in playtesting. Playtesting is great. I like, you know, I know I'm not really doing a video on that, but, like, just the, like, playing Magic just, like, a lot, you're gonna get better at it, but like playing it and then like, you know, you'll get a feel for like how the deck runs and then you can just edit it for like big tournaments and stuff, which is so important. I will say with goldfishing, it's very hard to do while you're playing a combo and control deck. And the reason why is because when you're playing when you're playing control, it's very reactive. You have to react to what the other person is doing. So a lot of times it'll be like, I guess I'll counter something here. I guess I'll remand whatever they play, but then they could not even play anything at all. So it's very, very hard to do that, but you gotta kind of just do the best you can and like kind of see how the deck goes. And like I said, it's really good because a lot of times you'll do it and you'll do things where like, say you'll play like Serum Visions, which is a very popular card in Modern. Like, you'll play Serum Visions and you'll see, okay, this is my draw, and then you would make that scry decision. So it helps you, like, based on the cards that you have in your hand, so it helps you make those sort of decisions. And it's kind of one of those things, like, it's like practice. It's like, you know, you're constantly practicing and you're getting better for, like, you know, the big tournament or the big game or whatever. So, goldfishing is just, I can't stress how important it is. There's no, like, set limit, like, you need to do this, practice this much a day. It's not like that. It's just do it as often as you can. Again, it's very simple. It's very easy to do. Sometimes people will just look at me when I'm goldfishing like, what is this girl doing? I'm like, bro, I'm just doing sample hands. They're like, do you want to play Magic? And I was like, I mean, we could play Magic, but I'm just kind of goldfishing right now. Like, I'm just kind of seeing how the deck works and stuff and, you know, doing my own thing and, you know, like playing the deck out as if I would play it. And especially if you're playing a deck, like most decks in Magic really should be synergistic, so your cards should work well together, and you may find some awkward synergies. You may find, like, some cards just don't work together. And, again, you will find that out in goldfishing and in playtesting, so just do them. They're really important. Yeah, that was pretty much all I wanted to say about goldfishing. I wasn't really planning on doing this video, but it was kind of something that popped into my head, and I figured that. 2 things. 1, I'm not going to be drafting Battle for Zendikar anymore because I'm just so not into it. Like, I think I may do an entire video actually talking about just why I'm not into the set anymore. Did you guys see Oath of the Gatewatch spoilers? There's a couple spoilers that were released. I don't know how I feel about the set. Honestly, like, I think this whole block I'm just not a huge fan of, and I'm really, really excited for Innistrad. Like, I'm really stoked. I'm pretty sure Liliana the Veil is going to be reprinted. I'm really happy about that. So, yeah, I'm just like, I don't know. And even if Liliana the Veil is not reprinted, which she's probably going to be, we're gonna get a new Lily, and I'm excited about that. So, good day. Hopefully we'll get a new Lily. Hopefully we won't get a reprint, unless it's Of the Veil. I would be really okay if they reprinted Of the Veil, because I think that'd be really cool. But that, GP Pittsburgh this weekend, I'm really, really excited. I'm like, it's gonna be so weird because like I'm really excited because I'm just getting away from the weekend, and this semester has been stressful, and like this is like, I never ever go on vacation. Like I can't even, when was the last time I went on a vacation? Not this past summer, but the summer before. I went on like a small vacation. I didn't go on vacation all the summer because I was working a lot, and it's just like, I just want like I mean, I know it's not like a vacation, like I'm sitting on a beach, but like I'm playing Magic. That's great. That is a great vacation for me. That sounds amazing. So I am really, really stoked about GP Pittsburgh, and I'm gonna be doing a video after talking about my experience. So I'm gonna be doing like the whole thing. And then next week is Thanksgiving, so it's gonna be really crazy. Like these past couple weeks have been just really, really insane. But I've been trudging through it. It's like this. It's just that point of the semester where it's like all of the work and like everything ever in existence. So it's a lot, but it'll be okay. The end is nigh. Like I have like a month left of school and then the semester's over and then I'm like just so, oh my gosh, just so much stuff. There's like so many things that I need to do. Like winter break is going to be crazy. I have like so many different things to do for my degree and like it's so funny is like I kept seeing like people post like Christmas related things and I was like, I don't know what I'm doing in the next 10 minutes, let alone like the next 2 months. Like I have no idea. I'm just taking like every day as I can and people are like already talking about Christmas and I'm just like, I don't care that it's like a month away. My head is nowhere near that. And I mean too, I think it's like when you like get, you know, older, and I'm not saying like Christmas loses like its value or like the holiday time, I'll say, like but like it's just kind of like everything's just been really crazy. And it's not like been bad, it's just been like, you know, just a lot, but you know, it is what it is. So there's been like so much stuff that I've just like, I've gotten back into the habit of like writing lists because I like got out of the habit of not doing that and that was bad. Like I would write lists consistently and then I stopped and then I was like, I need to start writing lists again because I need to like find out what stuff I need to do each day basically, and it just, I'm really happy that I got back to that, so that's been good. So I've been like way more organized. Yeah. Alright guys, hope everyone's hanging in there. Everything's gonna be okay. End is nigh. Everything's gonna be alright. Yeah, talk to you guys later. Bye.